Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the State of the Township address tonight. I'm State Representative Angela Whitmer. I'm really happy to be here with you tonight. Our great supervisor, Fonda Brewer, will review the most important events of this past year and look at how the township is preparing for the coming year. First, I'd like to recognize some of the members of Delta Township, including the trustees and memberships of the leadership who are here with us tonight. Mary Clark, our great clerk, is here with us. Brian Reed, the township manager. Dennis Fedova, the following trustees: Dennis Fedova, Beth Bowen, Andrea Castorelli, and Kieran Mojica, and Josh Lyman. Also joining us tonight is our chair of the Eaton County Commission, Jim Mott. And now I would like to introduce Fonda. Our supervisor is here with us. We are in great appreciation for her leadership of the township right now, and I welcome her to be able to give her remarks and address the Delta Township area. Thank you, Fonda.
All right. We love her to pieces. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Good. But I want to just first of all say welcome to everybody. Good evening. We're glad you're here. Some of you, I've seen your faces yesterday. So you were here for our board meeting and you're here with us tonight. So before I begin with numbers and projects and initiatives, I want to speak from the heart, because tonight is more than a report. It's a moment of acknowledgement and clarity. It's a chance to address not just where we're going, but where we've been, and to talk about what challenges and opportunities lie ahead for us. So thank you to those of you who are here in person. It's been a long day, I know, for many of you, and we appreciate that. And those that are watching live stream, you're on YouTube, or you're going to be on YouTube later. Right now we're on Zoom live stream. We truly appreciate all of you for sharing your time with us. So before I go any further, I really want to say something that I've been wanting to say out loud, especially in a place like this, is I want to say thank you to the Township Board. We have an incredible board, so raise your hand. All of you that are our current board members, would you just raise your hand up so people know? What many of you may not see is the behind-the-scene work that the Delta Township trustees do. They put in hours. They read volumes of materials to prepare for our meeting. They answer your emails, your phone calls. They see you in the grocery stores. They see us with makeup, without makeup, all of that. You all see us, and our trustees show up in our community. Not for praise, not for attention, but because they care deeply. They are leaders, they are servants, and they are visionaries. And they are the people that I stand elbow to elbow with unity, with integrity, and with mutual respect to make Delta Township a place where we can all live, work, and play. Tonight, I also want to honor any of our former board members that are in the house. We do have some that are in the house. We have, I believe, Mr. Pizzo, I think it's back there. Howard is right back there. Yes. We have John Bowles is in the house. There he is. And are there other trustees that I might have overlooked? Anybody that served on the board? So if I overlooked anybody, please forgive me. Charge it to my mind and not my heart. So we honor you. We thank you for your service, because you pass the baton on to us. And we hope that we're good carriers for you. Okay, so there's someone else I want to lift up a little bit tonight here too, aloud. And that is Township Manager Brian Reed. Brian is the bridge between vision and execution. He is the person in the middle. And trust me, it's a middle sometimes. We stretch him. He's the one who works tirelessly to translate the goals of the board into strategies for our departments. He addresses concerns from our residents and turns them into actionable solutions. He sees the big picture, but he never misses the fine print. if you know what a township manager does, if you don't know what a township manager does, let me tell you just a few things. They oversee the day-to-day operations. They manage the budgets. They coordinate departments. They advise the board on policy. They build staff capacity, communicate across all levels of government, and make sure that everything runs smooth as it looks from the outside. So now if you take all of that and you add 50% more, then that's Brian Reed. He's the voice behind the voices of Delta Township. And he doesn't do that alone. He leads with the support of an incredible team, including our Deputy Township Manager, Aaron Lapierre, whose professionalism, heart, hustle, as I call it, shine through in everything that she touches. A special thank you, though, tonight goes to Mary Borland, where she's standing up walking around, because she's the communication for the township. And she helps to get those publications you get in the mail. She's behind that, and she's behind doing all of the work to make this happen, along with Dave Marquette, who handles our IT, and I'll talk a little bit about him later. So together, this whole team moves the township forward, not just efficiently, but effectively. All right, so I want to do a little something different because I can hear, you don't give me a microphone ever. Don't do it. No, I want to address a couple of elephants that are not necessarily in this room, but they're out in our community. It's a buzz. We're all talking about it. So I want to talk a little bit about it, if you will allow me. The first one is public safety. Right now, and we know that's a sacred space for us. And there's a hard decision ahead for some, not just for Delta Township, but for our neighbors across the county. And I know that just mentioning the word millage carries weight. I know that. It brings reactions, feelings, concerns, and maybe even fatigue. But tonight, I don't want to debate it. I want to center it. I want to center the part of this conversation where I believe most of us can still meet in that shared center space. When we were in school and we studied the Venn diagram, I wasn't very good at it at that time, where you have the two round circles. Do you remember that? But they meet somewhere in this middle, this space, this sacred space. And so I see us in the center. I see us in this place where you can connect and have common ground. And I believe that that's exactly where Delta Township lives. Not on one side, not on the other, but in the circle where values come together. We might differ on our approach or how we get there, but what I believe to be undeniably true is the people of Delta Township is I believe this, that we value safety, that we value knowing someone will come when the call is made. We value knowing that justice will be pursued when harm is done. We value knowing that even the animals in our community, the voiceless, the vulnerable, will not be forgotten or mistreated. That is who we are. For more than 40 years, Delta Township has had a partnership with Eaton County that brings us critical services, public safety, prosecution, animal protection. This partnership isn't just about services, it's about people. The people that live amongst us, they serve amongst us, and they put their lives on the line for us. And while we each bring our own lens to how we evaluate decisions, and I respect that, what I ask of us tonight is to focus on that center. Focus on what connects us as a community, because the safety of our families, the well-beings of our neighborhoods, and the strength of our shared future, that's not political. That's foundational. This moment isn't about asking for agreement on every detail. It's about remembering that our shared values are still intact. We may not all stand in the same circle, but we all stand on the same solid ground. And I believe the public safety, real, dependable, community-centered public safety is a part of the ground we all share. So tonight, I invite us to remain centered on what matters, what we value as a community, Let's hold space for different views while refusing to let go of the values that make us who we are. Because at our core, Delta Township doesn't just live in a shared space, we lead from it. So I'm not here to tell anyone how to vote. That's not my place, but I'm asking you to think about your value and what that means to you as you're making these decisions. We know that public safety matters. It's essential. It's not optional. And there is no community that I know of that chooses to go without protection. I can't think of any that do that. So beyond all the titles, it's about the people behind them. This partnership also brings us people like Lieutenant Preston Dahlgren, who's here in the room. People who knows our neighborhood, knows our kids, knows what we value, knows our seniors, and they depend on them. People aren't just responding to calls, but they're building trust in the streets. People who help confused elders to avoid financial scams. This is what they do. They show up when a child goes missing. People who walk into what others run from, because we're not running into danger, but they run into it all the time. Again, this is not just about public safety, it's about public servants. People like Doug Lloyd, our prosecutor, who fights for victims. We'll never meet those families, but we know that they'll sleep better because someone took time to get justice for them. The animal control officers who give a second chance to a pet that's left behind. These aren't line items or just numbers. They are people with names and families, and they have a call to serve. This long-standing relationship with Eaton County has kept Delta Township safer, stronger, and more prepared. This is not a light moment. I get that. This is a weighty one. I get that too. And it's okay to wrestle with these decisions. It means that you love this community, and that's what democracy is all about. So again, I won't tell you how to vote because I respect your voice, and it's not my place, because the future of this partnership is more than a ballot question. It's a reflection of our values. We are Delta Township, we are Eaton County, and we don't flinch when the work gets hard. We don't run when it gets complicated. We lean in, we protect, and we serve. And this is one of those moments when we will do that. Let's not focus on what divides us, but what unites us. Our love for this community and our shared belief that safety isn't optional, that it's essential. Behind every decision, there are people. Behind every partnership, there are relationships, and behind every moment, there is a long legacy of shared services. Again, we may disagree or we may debate, but we all believe, I think, in that core center area, and I think that we operate from that place. So that is the first elephant that I wanted to talk to you about. The second one is, I'm hearing a lot of the buzz, I know everybody else is in here, and that is the inter-county drain. We know that's a pain point that's going on right now for people, and I wanted to just tell you what little I know. This drain, the bank drain, this was a resident-led petition to fix a drain from alleviating flooding for many in the bank drain area. The bank drain is an inter-county drain. It's governed by a board, including a member from the state of Michigan, Ingham County Drain Commissioner's Office, and a special Eaton County Commissioner. This is not a project that we control in Delta Township. So I wish we did. I wish we could say we could, because people are turning and wanting us to help, but we cannot. In fact, the township has a large assessment in itself. We have a $12.9 million assessment that we need to address, and you'll hear more of that certainly in the coming days. We understand. We know that for some residents, this project brings an unexpected financial impact. And I want you to know we hear you. We've heard the heaviness of your voice. And we've also heard something else. We know that there's hope for some because they're going to finally get a little bit of relief from the flooding that they've had to deal with over the years. But just like you, as I said, We're asking the same tough questions that you all are asking. Some of you are asking. We're asking them too because we are not above it. We're in it with you. And if you have any questions at all about it, and I know some of you do, please go to info@bankdrain.org. That is the source for your questions, where your questions can be answered, because they have the answers. We don't have the answers at Delta Township. So if you have any questions, they have a website, or you can contact them directly. Because while I know that social media is powerful, yeah, we all use a little social media, but it can be like a telephone game, where you hear one thing and then somebody else, Susie's going to tell somebody else, and it's going to be missing just a little bit of the information. And then Theodore's going to tell somebody, and it's going to be missing something. And then Samantha's going to pass it on and skip 5 pieces of good information. So that's why my recommendation is to you is to go straight to the source. Yeah. Go to them, let them answer your questions, because in a moment like this, where budgets are tight in households, we understand that. Accurate information matters. Okay, so now that I've got all the elephants out of the room and all that, and we have space now because the elephants are out of the room, let's talk about what's really great in Delta Township, okay? And some of our greatest assets, in addition to the board members and Manager Reed and Aaron and Mary, are our departments. They're the engines behind the work that we do. So I just want to share with you quickly the departments that make up the scenes. Every successful community has a strong team behind the scenes. In Delta Township, that team includes our incredible departments. And here are just a few highlights from each of them. So our Parks Department is first on my list, and that's led by Marcus Kirkpatrick. And what have they been up to, or what are they going to be up to? Let me tell you what he said. A new winter festival will be a part of their programming this year, and that was a part of the board's strategic plan. They're going to continue to build strong recreational programs. They're going to start construction on Sharp Park. They're going to put in a new priority. This is what we said we wanted them to do. Now our accounting department, which is led by Courtney Nichols, who's standing over here on the side, we can expect strong financial reports and audit findings from her every year. She does a stellar job. And the Delta Township has a credit rating of AA+. I think that's the best you could get. Or close to. That's worth something. That's worth something. Right. When we do it well, for sure. This department supports nearly every function in the township because they all tie to money. So she's involved in just about every project. But this year, she took on the project management for this beautiful public safety facility. So we appreciate you, Courtney. Thank you very much. And then we have our assessing department, which is led by Ted Drosty. And they are responsible for assessing nearly $2 billion in value for Delta Township. They received a perfect score on the state audit. I too think that that's worth an applause. And of course, we could never go without speaking on Clerk Clark. Everybody knows her. Everybody in this town knows her. But she has successfully run 4 elections in 1 year. Last year, 4 elections in 1 year. And I think there were early voting days in one of those. So it's a lot of work. They provide passports. So if you need one, this is the place to go. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can get it done right here in your township. And we love that. They are working on the new Delta Center Cemetery project. So stay tuned, because there's some new fancy stuff that Mary's working on for the cemetery. The next department is the building department, and that's led by Matt Leach. They handle approximately 3,000 different permits. That's what they handled last year. So that means there's a lot going on with building and new companies coming into town, lots of things going on. They reinvigorated our code enforcement this year, allowing more compliance and movement on difficult cases. Because one thing you have asked of us from time to time, you do ask, why have code enforcement if we don't enforce things? And so they're taking a look at that, and they're taking charge of that and making sure that we can enforce the codes. They handled inspections and plan reviews on immense projects such as LG and its 2 million square foot facility, and Amazon and its 1 million square foot facility. And not long ago, we toured that. And I've got my sneakers on. I think I actually walked most of it. I think I made it. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I made it. But they're mega. We next have the engineering department, and that's led by Jacob Hines. Did I get it? Thank you. I'm horrible with names. You guys know that. That's the engineering department, and it's instrumental in every project as well in the township, both private development and our projects. Engineering has been instrumental in keeping our parks, our cemetery, the pathway, the utility projects moving forward, including Willow and Pepper Ridge Force Main. Then we have the planning department led by Peter Mintzer, who is here somewhere. Peter, he's all the way in the back room. This is an entry point for nearly 50 current private development projects in the township. He's like one of the busiest persons in the township too. He's also leading the efforts to update our master plan, which we talked a little bit about in yesterday's board meeting. And if that's not enough, he runs our economic development. That keeps him busy. So he's managing substantial private development, diverse with residential, commercial, and industrial. And also, he's going to be welcoming the new McLaren Ambulatory Center, soon to open in 2025. Yeah, no, isn't that great? Got a lot going on here. Yeah. And then we have our utilities department. These are departments you just don't see, but they are all operating behind the scenes. And this is led by Rick Kane. His hardworking employees handle our utilities, and they're working on the construction of our new $84 million WRRF, which is our water resource recovery facility. Oh, my word. Thank you. Got that. Okay, so that is underway. You may have seen it. They've been working on that for a few years, and it's amazing. Just amazing. It needed it. They're wrapping up over $40 million in infrastructure projects to serve the new LG plant. They're also wrapping up the St. Joe water main and pathway project, fixing our worst water mains in the township while adding 2 miles of 10 feet shared use pathway to our non-motorized system. Now let's talk about another thing that we really love, and that's the library. We love the library, which is led by Mary Rapensky. We're so proud to have them. And the 476 card holders. So that's a lot of people that go to that library. They continue to remove barriers to information for as many people as possible. So people with special needs or whatever they might have, they try to make sure that they have ways that everybody can engage in the library. They led a major software conversion this year for all departments. Excuse me, not them. Let me go back up to my notes. Last year, they provided many partnerships for public health for all ages, including welcome baby bags, a health hub, and a variety of harm reduction health items for adults. Next, it's IT. I was skipping over a little bit. Dave Marquette, who is standing here to my left, he is the backbone of the township infrastructure. What you see, these screens, he can take a box and do some magical things with it. I'm just telling you, they'll give him a box with the keys. He's going to town with it. I asked him earlier today, I said, do you think we could have a little light music? And he said, oh, sure. And what music were you going to put on? Yeah, he didn't want to say. It was funny. It was some jazz type music. It was like jazz hip hop. And I was like, what? What's Dave, you? But he is the backbone to our township infrastructure. They've been providing increasingly complex support for all types of applications, and they led major software conversion for this year for all departments. And if you look at this scene right here, he uses our drone. We have a drone. So he's able to capture. This picture behind me is overlooking Horrocks. That's the drone at work. That's Horrocks. And it's in the fall, you can tell because look at the mums and the color. Right? I love that. So now that drone gets used and we love it. We're excited about that. Next, I want to talk about the fire department. And we have some chiefs in the room. We do. We have Chief Feichner in the room and his team. You know, we can't live without you. We love you. We do. We do. But let me tell you what they've been up to. So, of course, he's our newest chief, and he's brought tremendous leadership to the township. The best EMS and fire department in the region. He might have wrote that, but I like that. It's their story. I'm just sharing it with you. They're well-trained, and that's for sure. Almost 2,500 hours of training completed over the last year, and they're there for your family. They're there for us. I've used them over the years for myself or my mom, and they were always there. They were always helpful. So they make thousands of EMS runs and fire runs annually. So we all depend on them, and we love the work that they do, and we love the team. And last but not least, again, is the manager's office. We already talked about Brian Reed, but he has an office too. He's got a team of people that work in his office. And some of the things that they have been working on is they quarterback for all of the projects. They really do out of that office. A few that stand out to me is Colt. We have a partnership with Waverly for a senior center at Colt. I know. Is that exciting? I can't wait for that to be open. We love our seniors in Delta Township. We absolutely love them. And I don't say our seniors, I'm a senior too. So we love the making sure that if people want to age in place, they can do so. And you know, they can beat you at a game of pickleball like there's no. Don't mess with them with the pickleball. Do not. But that senior center is will be under construction this year. There's also this other program that we're so proud of that we received a grant, and it's called the CHILL Grant. And that grant will provide emergency repair and renovations for nearly 20 residents under the grant from MISHDA. These projects have already started. They're underway, but they will continue on in 2025. Over $150 million in infrastructure projects currently underway. We have so many different projects underway that just keep up with us. If you come to our township board meetings, you will always hear us talking about what's underway. We have large projects, we have small projects, but we always talk about them and share them with the public. We do, because we try to work directly with you. So let us be clear, our success is not accidental. It's built on the tireless work of all of the public servants that I mentioned here a few minutes ago. So what else are we up to? Our strategic plan update. The township is working through items of our strategic plan. The plan expires in 2026. And they're also working on updating the non-motorized transportation plan and the community master plan. Lots of planning going on here in Delta Township. And then there's just a few talking points that I want to continue carrying on with. I'm not going to read them all because there's so many, but we're entering 2025 in great shape. Do we have some challenges? We do, and I'm going to share those with you. We do. Everybody does. But we're so fortunate to have a diverse economy with a strong industrial and commercial sector right here in Delta Township. Having footprints of GM, auto owners, Myers, Farm Bureau, Amazon, and several other large employers is a significant advantage for our region. Delta Township received the prestigious Township of Excellence designation in 2024 from the Michigan Township Association, only one of two in the state to receive the full designation. And then one of our major projects is nearly complete. It looks pretty complete to me. We're standing in it. And this is, we had our ribbon cutting earlier, I think it was in the winter, around in January, for this building. This is a $14.5 million building, and we came in under budget and ahead of schedule. I don't know how many of you came to the grand opening. I see some faces that were, and they toured through the building. This is a beautiful place, and we absolutely love it. Our water resource recovery facility is likely to finish phase 1 in October and again, that's an $80 million project. The St. Joe Highway project is nearly completed, and this replaces and upsizes an aging water main from Kreitz to Waverly. And we have close to 50 private developments that are in various stages, awaiting approval for full construction. People are excited about Bass Pro will be coming to Delta Crossing. Yeah, that's coming. The Amazon facility opened midway through last year and continues to produce many jobs, and we're excited about that. And this year, the board is going to look into housing. And actually, we're going to have sort of like a housing ABC for the board and the community to learn more about all the terms that are used with housing, from workforce housing to missing middle to all of those various languages. So all in all, there's a lot going on with Delta Township and more. And you can stay tuned. How? Come to our board meetings, follow us on our website, sign up to receive information from our website, read the newsletters, tell everybody you know. This is just a great place to live, work, and play. So in closing, okay, here we go. Before we close tonight, I want to end where we began, which was the theme for tonight, and I may not have even shared it, but I will now, which is rooted in progress, growing with purpose. That's us. We are Delta Township. We are rooted in progress and growing with purpose. And we are only as strong as our unity. Our greatness will never be measured by how loud we shout, but by the bravery of listening, how boldly we act, how faithfully we serve. So let's keep this going, elbow to elbow, heart to heart, doing the hard, necessary work to ensure that this township remains the best place to live, work, and play. Growth stretches us, but it never breaks us. It bends our comfort, challenges our norms, it tests our patience for sure, but it also builds our strength, our resilience, and our purpose. Delta Township is growing, and that means we're stretching. And with every stretch comes a choice. Will we pull apart, or will we pull together? We choose together. We choose transparency. We choose dialogue over divisions. We choose the hard adult conversations that elevate and not agitate. We are not here to win arguments. We're here to build alignment. We're not interested in being perfect. We're committed to being accountable. That is what leadership looks like. That is what community looks like. That is what community feels like. That is what home becomes when everyone feels seen and heard. Because make no mistake, our diversity is not our sidebar, it's our strategy, it's our strength, and it's our story. We are stronger because we think differently. We are wiser because we listen longer. And we are greater because we honor all who call Delta Township home. This heart of township beats with many rhythms, rural and suburban, young and seasoned, generational residents and those just arriving. We have some newer ones here today in the audience. And when those rhythms come together, not in uniformity, but in unity, then that's when we create harmony. And I want you to remember this quote that I always love from Maya Angelou. We all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry. And we must understand that all the threads of that tapestry are equal in value, no matter what the color. Our tapestry in Delta Township is vibrant, and it's getting richer by the day. And here's the call to action today, if I could leave this with you. Don't just watch leadership. be a part of it. Don't just stand on the sideline, but get in the game. Volunteer for a board or commission, and Mr. Singleton plans to do that. I ran into him at this building yesterday when I came to see how I looked against a green wall. And I was going to wear a green suit. So that was not working out too well. So I ran into him. He was here, and he said, I want to do something. I want to be active in the township. So I said, well, he says, I want to start coming to the board meetings. I said, come. He said, when is it? I said, tonight. And he showed up. And he's here tonight. So I told them, look at our website. There are boards and commissions. We welcome our community getting engaged because this is your township. So we say volunteer for a board or commission. Bring your voice, bring your ideas, your creativity, your passion to the table. Come to our meetings, ask questions, share your concerns, dream out loud with us. If you love where you live, show up for it. We're not waiting for the future. We're shaping it here in Delta Township. Democracy is not a spectator sport, as Marian Wright Edelman said, and Delta Township, it's never been. So tonight, let's not just end a speech, let's begin a movement. Let's commit to respectful conversations. Let's make room for ideas that challenge us, not threaten us. Let's celebrate the things that unite us and learn from the things that stretch us. This is your township, and it is only as strong as your participation. So say it with me loudly. I want to say it loudly to the back of the room, from the front of the room, that we are not who we used to be, and that's a good thing. We are who we are becoming, and that's something extraordinary. We are rooted in progress. We are growing in purpose. And if we do this right, with compassion and courage and collaboration, then Delta Township will not only be a great place to work and live and play, it will be a model for other townships and governments to look at. So step in, speak up, show out, because the next chapter of our story starts with you, starts with all of you here in this room and online. So before I leave, I want you to join me in watching a very special short video. It's just, I think it's very short, but I think you're going to like it because it talks about this beautiful facility that we're in. I thank you, God bless you, and may we never forget the power of what we can do when we all work together. And we are Delta strong, we are Delta. Thank you. Public safety has always been a top priority for everyone on the board here in Delta Township. In 2018, we took a comprehensive look at what facilities were critically needed and quickly decided that that one was number one, priority number one. And then we began doing our strategic planning to rebuild our public safety facility.
Delta Township has a long-standing partnership with Eaton County to provide police services. The former substation no longer met the needs of the department. The building had foundation issues due to the poor soils in this area. It also had inadequate facilities for female deputies, a lack of proper security, an inability to accommodate all the technology that's needed for modern policing, and other plumbing and mechanical issues.
The building was antiquated for both safety and technology that is needed in today's law enforcement.
The township has made a steady commitment to investing in our infrastructure, and this facility is critical to serving the Delta Township community.
The Chrisman Company partnered with C2AE to provide the township with an in-depth facility study, and that indicated that the current public safety facility needed to be replaced.
In 2019, the township had a study done of all its facilities, and the substation was identified as a priority for replacement.
This study analyzed over 20 locations, including the existing building site and alternatives. But we found the most cost-efficient way to replace the building was to demolish and then rebuild on the existing site.
The board supported using a design-build process, which allowed us to partner with a construction manager and architect right at the beginning of the design. With the uncertainties with the bidding environment and the cost of construction, this was essential in making sure we had accurate information when we asked the voters for their support.
Delta Township ran a public education campaign and then a bond proposal that passed overwhelmingly in May of 2023.
There was an overwhelming response to this project from the community that led to receiving very competitive bids and allowed us to perform the project under budget.
We decided that we wanted to keep our public safety on campus. We consider this campus, and so we decided to find another space nearby to house the existing public safety staff, and that allowed us to build right here on the premises.
The project began in November 2023 and finished in January of 2025. Besides being just great partners to work with, the township, the sheriff's department, and everybody involved in the project, it was just a really fun and successful build.
In late January 2025, we held a ribbon cutting and a grand opening for the facility. This project is a great example of the benefits of teamwork and collaboration.
This project is a prime example of a long-standing mutually beneficial partnership for Eaton County and the Township for police services for over 4 decades.
This facility is state-of-the-art. It's for the men and women who work here at the Eaton County Sheriff's Office and assigned to the Delta Patrol.
The building provides a professional and safe environment. The extremely efficient design not only allows us to conduct our day-to-day business at a level that meets today's workload demands, it also gives us room to grow the way we've designed things so that we can adapt to the changing environment of law enforcement.
As the elected clerk in Delta Township, I also am a 25-year victim advocate as a volunteer with Eaton County Sheriff's Department, where I work with victims of trauma. This building now provides me with a space to have a conversation and help people work through the most horrendous day of their life. And it's quiet, safe, and calming for them.
First and foremost, I think that this building is amazing compared to the one that we had prior to. Some of the features for my canine partner Roscoe is going to be the dog run that we have, as well as the bath system that's in our garage as well. Being able to have the ability to wash him is phenomenal. Working at our old office, we had a closet for a locker room for females. So right now, being able to have an actual shower and restroom within our locker room and being able to have a place for all the females to have their equipment is amazing. I do love having a workout facility here in our office for either coming in prior to work or on my off days. It's top notch being able to just have a workout facility to keep in peak performance shape for the job that I have.
It is good for our retention of our current deputies and also for the future of deputies that are coming on board. We're looking forward to many years of use here with Delta Township and continue our service here in law enforcement with the Eaton County Sheriff's Office.
For our company, it was really rewarding to work on an important project like this in our local community. We've been in Delta Township for 39 years roughly. Building this state-of-the-art Sheriff Department has really been an honor, and I hope everybody in the community appreciates what the Sheriff Department does for us and what this building's going to do for them.
The support of the board and the voters, along with the hard work and dedication of the township staff, Eaton County Sheriff staff, the Chrisman team, and the contractors, made this a project that the community can be proud of.
We had an amazing team that worked on rebuilding the facility. Everyone involved worked so hard and so smart. We were able to not only deliver the new building ahead of schedule, but to deliver it under budget.